Namaskar, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors and professionals, the most honourable our present Prime Minister Modi ji, respected ministers and doctors, honourable advocates, advertisers and student advisors, all my dear friends, I heartily, cordially welcome all of you. It is really nice time, nice place, nice action that we are appreciating our Indian holy culture in the form of unity in diversity. Many changes we are observing in nature nowadays. Around us we see different changes. It is the identity of our nation. It's the cultural and climatical identity of our nation that we have varieties, variations, adversities, diversities around us. Our own freedom fighters, free thinkers, astronomers, astrologers, those who came, visited this holy Indian land, and this holy Indian land respected, welcomed, thanked all the beginners, starters, creators, generators, operators of the different missions and ambitions. Time to time, day by day, month by month, year by year, our India is going towards the development, and the day is not away when India will become explorer, exposer and exporter. Different changes we see in the form of multi-cultured and multicolored society. Basically, our Indian land is known by its multifacetedness, multi-speciality, multi-languages. But in spite of all these differentiations, variations, we have uniqueness, oneness, equality, unity in the form of humanity. In all the holy scriptures are all holy starters of the different holy books. They have written in praise of nature. Nature is really praiseworthy, admirable and appreciable for us. Let us go through what is happening around us and how it is providing the message of love, peace, brotherhood, affection and humanity all over the world. dirty in his mind, Supreme Court on Allahabadiya as it grants him interim shield from New Delhi, while it granted interim protection from arrest in the FIR registered against podcaster influencer Ranbir Allahabadiya for his comments on a YouTube show. The Supreme Court on Tuesday said his conduct showed lack of responsibility and was condemnable. There is something that is dirty in his mind that has been vomited by way of this program. The words you have chosen, parents will feel ashamed, daughters and sisters will feel ashamed, brothers will feel ashamed, entire society will feel ashamed. The perverse mind and the perversion you and your henchmen have exhibited, said Justice Suryakant, presiding over a two-judge bench that included Justice N.K. Singh, Hasina gone, Mujib's roll cut, what revised Bangladesh school books now look like. The chapter in the 2024 class 3 book titled Ahmadar Jatil Pita, Father of the Nation, on Sheikh Mujibur Rahman has been dropped. One of the new chapters titled Ahmadar Cha Neta, our four leaders, where Mujib is preceded by 3 other political leaders. Midnight decision on CEC selection, disrespectful, discourteous. It is being said by Rahul in New Delhi from New Delhi Express News Service. Trade, energy, investment, India and Qatar elevate ties. President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi received Amir of Qatar Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani at the Rashtrapati Bhavan Tuesday. Strategic partnership, doubling of bilateral trade in 5 years announced, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani held talks in New Delhi Tuesday. India and Qatar decided to elevate their ties to a strategic partnership and double the target of bilateral trade to USD 28 billion in the next 5 years. Trial delay, Supreme Court grants bail to VVIP chopper case accused Michael. KIIT student death, racist remarks echo in Nepal House, opponents for action. News from Nepal. Between India and Qatar, elevating ties while focusing on trade, investment and energy. Trade between the two countries is $14 billion annually, with a target to double it to $28 billion by 2030. Qatar's Swan Wealth Fund has $1.5 billion. FDI in India on Sheikh AI Thane's second visit to India. Both countries signed two agreements and five MOUs covering areas like economic cooperation, youth affairs, and a double taxation avoidance agreement. Within the Gulf Cooperation Council, India had signed strategic partnerships with the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman, and Kuwait, and Qatar is the latest to join that club. Midnight's decision on CEC selection disrespectful, discourteous, Rahul says. KIIT student that's assist remarks echoing Nepal House opponents for election. Lifestyle purchases online, gaming and dining out top discretionary spending. News from New Delhi, Indian consumers allocated 29% of their expenditure to discretionary spending in 2023, with online gaming commanding a slightly higher share than dining out and ordering in, a new study has found. Discretionary spending trailed obligatory expenses 39% on loan EMIs and necessity spending 32% on utilities and everyday essentials like groceries. According to the study by Perfios and PwC India released on Wednesday on consumer spending behavior, post-COVID demand plateaus, health premium growth halves in last 10 months. Why Argentina's president is in hot swoop over a crypto promotion. Tesla opened recruitment in India sends the signal of entering EV markets. As per job postings on the company's website, the posts are for the Mumbai suburban area. News from New Delhi. American electric car maker Tesla has opened recruitments for various roles in India, including business operations analyst and customer support specialist in what could be a precursor for the company's entry into the country. As per the job postings on the company's website, the posts are for the Mumbai suburban area. These roles include service advisor, parts advisor, service technician, service manager, sales and customer support, store manager, sales and customer support, business operation analyst, customer support, survivors, customer support specialist, delivery, operation specialist, order, operation specialist inside, sales advisor and consumer engagement manager. Why Argentina's president is in hot soup over a crypto promotion. Unemployment rate dips to 6.4% in December quarter. Periodic labor force survey. Bharti Airtel promoter sales stake was 8,484 crore rupees. Sukho to present budget on March 17 from Shimla. Mr. Welfare of Freedom Fighters, ex-servicemen, widows, parity, news from Ludhiana. Harassed by villagers, couple die by suicide in Mekiwala, news from Ludhiana. Agnihotri seeks a special policy for hill states from Shimla. As US position on Ukraine, NATO ships a recall and why it matters. From New Delhi, April 3, 2008, NATO's Bucharest Summit declaration said NATO welcomes Ukraine's and Georgia's Euro-Atlantic aspirations for membership in NATO. We agreed today that these countries will become members of NATO. February 12, 2025, United States Secretary of Defense Patty told the Ukraine Defense Contact Group in Brussels that the United States does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome of a negotiated settlement. The dawn quake in Delhi. The capital lies in the Aravali Delhi fold belt where deformed layers of rock sometimes release stress in the form of earthquakes. This mechanism is different from the one that triggers quakes in the Himalayan region. News from New Delhi. Delhi is no stranger to earthquakes, but the one that occurred before dawn on Monday was slightly different. Mostly the tremors experienced in Delhi from time to time are from earthquakes that originate elsewhere, sometimes as far away as Afghanistan. Monday's magnitude for earthquake was located in Delhi itself, somewhere close to the Dhola area. In fact, it was the strongest earthquake to have originated in Delhi in at least 5 years. Data from the National Center of Seismology showed another earthquake of similar magnitude occurred a couple of hours later near Siwan in Bihar. Magnitude 4 earthquakes are not very strong and do not result in much damage. There were no reports of any damage due to Monday's earthquake. Bacteria made band-aid for plants, what study found. Pampering over failure in Manipur patent rule is about hiding the abdiction of the ruling party. Walls on the field. Uncertainty is built into the game, but there was beauty of certainty to cricket between India and Pakistan. The neighbors' refusal to host each other is tragic. Days before the Champions Trophy, a Pakistan cricketer texted a curt reply when asked if their fans would miss watching Indian superstars Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Why don't you ask these questions to Indian players? Clearly, India's refusal to cross the border hasn't gone down well in Pakistan. In 2023, after much hand wringing, Babar Azam's team travelled to India for the 50 overs World Cup, having taken the first step. The Pakistan Cricket Board had expected reciprocity. This ICC event means a word to them. India and its fans would have lit up the Champions Trophy, certified normalcy in the troubled country, and given a fillip to their tottering economy. Policing, not protection. UCC regulations on live-in relationships can expose people to many risks. The question of a uniform civil code is extremely fraught in India. Non-marital relationships have never been debated within its purview. However, the Uttarakhand UCC's emphasis on live-in relationships and its regulations has brought forth many debates ranging from legal to social. There are hardly any empirical studies that tell us about the extent, form, and contentions in different variants of non-marital relationships of cohabitation, popularly referred to as live-in relationships in India. Most of what we believe about such relationships is derived from anecdotal evidence, popular culture, and media coverage of cases such as the 2022 murder of a young woman, Sharda Walker, by her live-in partner. The number of cases filed against the backdrop of live-in relationships across the states have grown exponentially in the last decade and a half, but Uttarakhand does not figure prominently among the states with such litigation. Moreover, the UCC does not seem to be an appropriate response to the concerns that have been brought to the court. Admittedly, right from the onset of the 21st century, on non-marital relationships of cohabitation have been a subject for discussion for the Indian judiciary, policy makers, feminists, and legal scholars. The issue gained prominence with aborted attempts to broaden the definition of wife in the criminal procedure code. The moral panic around statements by celebrities such as Tamil actor Khushbu that were seen as an endorsement of premarital sex also amplified public attention. However, the inclusion of relations in the nature of marriage within the purview of domestic relations in the protection of women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 brought into full view the contentious questions around the legal regulation and recognition of non-marital sexual relationships. While there are many complex legal questions that the domain of non-marital relations, including those among same-sex partners, give rise to, it is a mistake to assume that such relations have a single variant. Among other possibilities, non-marital cohabitation can be a form of trial marriage, an alternative to conventional marriage, or a relationship in which the divorced and widowed enter later in life, the period for which people may be in such a relationship and the ensuing obligations can also be extremely varied. The patrons are also not entirely new as in many parts of India. Some variations of such relations have been customarily accepted. In some contexts, this can be a relationship in which one of the partners is also married to someone else. Most of this is not appreciated in calls for legal regulation of such relations and is certainly not factored into the UCC. Indeed, it is often forgotten that the initial impetus that brought live-in relationship into the legal purview had to do with the protection of women in secondary unions. In cohabitation relations with already married men, the Ballymon's Committee, for example, sought to extend the definition of wife in Section 125 to include a woman who was living with a man as his wife for a reasonably long period. During the subsistence of the first marriage, this was an acknowledgement of the fact that many women find themselves in relationships that are like marriage but have no legal protection, often because their male partner is an already married man. Our legal system has, however, been very resistant to a recognition of rights within such variants of living relationships almost from the onset. Legal innovations such as those in the Domestic Violence Act of 2005 have been interpreted by courts in a manner that restricts the kind of relationships to which it is willing to offer protection. This has been abundantly obvious in judgments given in the Velusme versus D. Patchett, Mem 2010, and subsequently in the Indra Swarma versus V.K. Sharma 2013, in which the Supreme Court offered a restricted definition of relationships in the nature of marriage. The UCC in Uttarakhand also operates within the logic of a restricted definition by not only making registration in such a relationship mandatory but also imposing restrictions upon who can enter such relationships and creating a regulatory apparatus with a highly coercive potential. This Act's apparent legal approval of a form of non-marital relationship is counterintuitive. It imposes all the trappings of a conventional marriage, which undermines the experimental nature of such relationships, especially among the young who seem to be the target of the new law. Instead of providing protection, these regulations can expose men and women in living relationships to many risks, including moral policing like previous lawmaking on such issues. The poor drafting of the law may also have unintended consequences. In no other part of the world has such a law been enacted in the name of offering protection to those in such relations. Do those in such relations need to be legally regulated? Should the law offer some kind of protection to those in such relationships, or should it monitor and police them? What kind of rights and obligations should be attached to those in a non-marital relationships? What about those who continue to remain outside the purview of such a law, that such as those in same-sex relations or those who are in a relationship with an already married person? While answers to such questions are not easy, they do not seem to have been considered at all in the UCC modern attempt to codify relationships that are not necessarily in need for such regulatory attempts. The writer is Professor, Department of Sociology, Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. High Court gives Punjab 30 days to act against illegal travel agents amid deportation by US. Bench disposes of a plea seeking immigration check post in all districts of Punjab and upgraded list of certified agents and strict action against human smuggling. Express News Service news from Chandigarh, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has asked the Punjab government to decide on representation seeking action against illegal travel agents duping people by illegally sending them abroad. A bench of Chief Justice Sheel Nagu and Justice Harmeet Singh Grewal passed the direction Monday, February 17, while disposing of a public interest litigation PIL public interest litigation that establishment of immigration check post in all districts of the state, an upgraded list of certified recruiting agents, and stricter action against unauthorized travel agents involved in human smuggling. The bench directed the petitioner, Advocate Kanwar Bahul Singh, to submit representation to the authorities concerned, which must be decided within 30 days. They observed that the matter fell under the jurisdiction of the competent authority under the Immigration Act 1983 and refrained from making any comments on the merits of the cases. The grievance alleged of rampant illegal immigrants being sent abroad through illegal means in violation of certain provisions of the Immigration Act 1983, the bench noted. The petitioner appearing in person sought directions to the Union of India and others to set up immigration check post under the Immigration Act 1983 to streamline the migration process and prevent incidents such as the recent deportation of illegal immigrants from the United States. He also sought an updated list of certified recruiting agents and permitted for employers in order to prevent people of Punjab from becoming the victim of such con or fake travel agents' future. Submitting that the recent deportation of illegal immigrants of India by the USA caused losses of crores of rupees to the people of Punjab. He argued the court to order a crackdown on illegal travel agents operating in Punjab under the Punjab Prevention of Human Smuggling Act 2012. Direct respondents to identify, find and take immediate action against all fake or con travel agents who are not having a license to run business in the territory of Punjab, he contended. Appearing for the Union Government, additionally Solicitor General of India, Satyapal Jain, along with Advocate Dheeraj Jain, opposed the plea. Advocate Jain contended that many of the immigrants had left the country for European countries on study or tourist visas and then illegally entered the US. The council said the protector of immigrants in Chandigarh has forwarded a total of 127 complaints over the unscrupulous agents to the Punjab government for action in the past year. Of the complaints, 57 were received from victims, he said. The court, while disposing of the petition, directed the presentation be decided within 30 days. If done within a period of 30 days, the representation shall be considered and decided by respondents as expeditiously as possible by passing speaking order, and the outcome shall be communicated to the petitioner the court ordered. Notably, after the first batch of 104 illegal Indian immigrants, including 31 from Punjab, were deported from the US on February 5, Himachal man returns to house for Himachal man returns to house he mortgaged 45 lakh rupees loan he took to for better future. 10 years in jail, 5 lakh rupees fine, confiscation of property. Haryana to tighten rules on travel agents with new legislation. The Vidhan Sabha had passed the Haryana Registration and Regulation of Travel Agents Bill 2024 last year, but it could not be enacted as a law as the centre raised certain objections. Costa Rica agrees to accept Indian migrants deported from US first batch arrives today. The new CEC key role in recognition of J&K setting up Ram Temple Trust from New Delhi almost a year after he was appointed an election commissioner. Ganesh Kumar was elevated to Chief Election Commissioner Monday. Kumar was appointed to the EC on March 14, 2024, less than 2 months after he retired from the IAS. He assumed office on March 15, and the very next day, the Election Commission of India announced the schedule of the Lok Sabha elections. In the past 11 months, Kumar has been a part of the commission with Rajiv Kumar and fellow EC Dr. Sukhbir Singh Sandhu, while it conducted the Lok Sabha polls, the first assembly election in the UT of J&K, and the assembly elections in Haryana, Jharkhand, Maharashtra and Delhi. His tenure as CEC will last till January 26, 2029, which will see him helm the commission as it conducts 20 assembly elections, the elections for President and Vice President in 2027, and prepares for 2029 Lok Sabha polls. A 1988 batch officer of the Kerala cadre, Kumar served as the Secretary of the Cooperation Ministry at the time of his retirement in January 2024. In his career, he served as Parliamentary Affairs Secretary, Joint Secretary and Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Defence in Kerala. He worked across several departments including Public Works Department and Finance. He was also the Resident Commissioner at Kerala House in Delhi from 2012 to 2016, an additional in MHA from 2018 to 2021. Kumar played a pivotal role when Article 370 was abrogated in 2019 and J&K was split into the two UTs. The Modi government's trust in Kumar as a bureaucrat is The Modi government's trust in Kumar as a bureaucrat is illustrated by the fact that he was not only given the responsibility of formulating the JNK recognition bill, one of the most sacred bills ever wrote, but was also involved in setting up of Ram Janambhoomi Trust. Only breathe the test, not conclusive proof of drinking. Rajiv Kumar's term as poll panel chief comes to end the hits and the misses. From New Delhi, capping off a 4.5-year tenure in the Election Commission, nearly 3 years of those as Chief Election Commission, Rajiv Kumar will demit office on Tuesday after having conducted 31 assembly election and the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. A retired 1984 batch IAS officer of the Bihar Jharkhand cadre, Kumar joined the EC as election commissioner on September 1, 2020, filing the vacancy caused by the unexpected resignation of then election commissioner Ashok Levasa. Kong mouthpiece targets Tharoor says anti-government sentiment shouldn't be dodged. Nadda's 5-year run as BJP chief nears its end, challenges await his successor. Man impersonating J. Shah nearly scammed MLA in Uttarakhand. News from Dehradun. When Uttarakhand BJP MLA Adesh Chauhan allegedly received a call from a person identifying himself as J. Shah, the son of Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and demanding a donation of 5 lakh rupees for the party earlier this week, he thought nothing of it. That is until he realized that he was being swindled. Nadda's 5 years run as BJP chief nears its end. Challenges await his successor. Calm mouthpiece targets Tharoor says anti-government sentiment shouldn't be dodged. Amid questions about India bloc's future, can Congress and company find common ground? The India alliance must strengthen, not weaken, and certainly not fade away. Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav expressed these sentiments with feeling during a recent conversation with me. Akhilesh Satrek not very different from the voices heard in recent days that pronounced the bloc dead for all practical purposes. Now news from the world. What is happening around the world? Let us go through. Argentina, Miley faces fraud probe in cryptocurrency case, Buenos Aires. Delta Airlines plane sits upside down at Toronto Pearson International Airport on Monday. A Delta Airlines jet flipped on its roof while leaving Monday at Toronto's Pearson Airport, but all 80 people on board survived and those hurt had relatively minor injuries, the airport's chief executive said. Russia-US agree to press ahead with bid to end war in Ukraine. Israeli troops withdraw from South Lebanon. Israel will begin talks on next phase of Gaza ceasefire this week. Four candidates want to be Germany's next chancellor. Good first step. Researchers link a gene to the emergency of spoken language. What scientists learn may someday even help people with speech problems. What scientists learn What scientists learn may someday even help people with speech problems. Good first step. Researchers link a gene to the emergence of spoken language. News from Washington. Why did humans start speaking? Scientists suggest genetics played a big role, and they say the evolution of this singular ability was key to our survival. A new study links a particular gene to the ancient origins of spoken language, proposing that a protein variant found only in humans may have helped us communicate in a novel way. Speech allowed us to share information, coordinate activities, and pass down knowledge, giving us an edge over extinct cousins like Neanderthals and Denisovans. The new study is a good first step to start looking at the specific genes that may affect speech and language development, said Lisa Feinstein at the University of Minnesota, who was not involved with the research. What scientists learn may someday even help people with speech problems. The genetic variant researchers were looking at was one of the variety of genes that contributed to the emergence of Homo sapiens as the dominant species, which are today, said Dr. Robert Diamond, an author of the study published Tuesday in the journal Nature Communications. Daniel has been studying the protein called Nova1 and known to be crucial to brain development since the early 1990s. For the latest research, scientists in his lab at New York's Rockefeller University used CRISPR gene editing to replace the Nova1 protein found in mice with the exclusively human type to test the real life effects of the genetic variant. To their surprise, it changed the way the animal vocalized when they called out to each other. Baby mice with a human variant squeaked differently than normal little mats when their mom came around. Adult male mice with the variant chirped differently than their normal counterparts when they saw a female in heat. Both are settings where mice are motivated to speak, Damil said, and they spoke differently with the human variant, illustrating its role in speech. This isn't the first time a gene has been linked to speech. In 2011, British scientists said they had discovered their first gene tied to a language and speech disorder called FOX2. It was referred to as the human language gene, but though FOXP2 is involved in human language, it turned out that the variant in modern humans wasn't unique to us. Later research found it was shared with Neanderthals. The Nova1 variant in modern humans, on the other hand, is found exclusively in our species. Devil said the presence of a gene variant isn't the only reason people can speak. The ability also depends on things like anatomical features in the human thought, and areas of the brain that work together to allow people to speak and understand language. Darnell hopes the recent work not only helps people between Darnell hopes the recent works not only helps people better understand their origins but also eventually leads to new ways to treat speech-related problems. University of Minnesota's Feinstein said it's more likely the genetic findings might somebody allow scientists to detect very early in life who might need speech and language interventions. That's certainly a possibility, he said. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. Thanks all of you.